your bitch like I was Drake, yeah.
Don't just try to tell me you love me. Can't keep it real if you really don't trust me. Come with a real, you hip in the front seat. Get my meals, I'm gunning for the money. Money in the bank. Come on with a dank. Scrolling that tank. Rolling with the gang. You sitting out on the sideline tripping. I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin.
Yeah. I'm okay.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on woodwardsports.com. Make sure you like and share the stream. If you're listening on audio platform, leave a 5-star review.
5-star.
For Eazy, for Chris, for Lucas, I am Spencer Raxter. We are the Woodward Heavyweights. Obviously, we've got a lot to talk about. The biggest news of the weekend was not even NFL Week 1. It was Mel Tucker and the situation going on with him and in East Lansing. We are going to talk about that in depth. We have our guy Owen Ozust coming in to explain what's going on his side as he works in the athletic department in East Lansing and the feel of the campus and what students are dealing with over there. It was week 1 in the NFL. A lot of big things went down. Tyreek Hill went bananas. Aaron Rodgers plays tonight. Israel Adesanya got his ass whooped.
Yeah,
it was a crazy weekend. How you feeling about the weekend, Eazy?
You should remind me of the whole Izzy thing. That was like, I'm an Izzy fan. I turned on him quick.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you saw text. We were texting back and forth. Yeah.
He got embarrassed, man. He got walked down. The pace was pushed by Sean Strickland all night. Izzy wasn't doing anything.
Round 2, I switched up. I was like, you deserve to get your ass whooped at this point.
He won that round, 5 rounds to nothing. Izzy didn't win a round.
I cleaned up on that one too.
Yeah.
After round 2, Sean was still plus money. When it was clear that Izzy wasn't there to fight that night.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it was. Dana White doesn't know what it was. Izzy didn't speak to the media. He allowed his coach to take all the questions. We'll see. He's really like in the public though, so he'll drop some other time like his own podcast or
we'll see.
Whatever.
It just looked like he didn't want to be there. He looked like Tyron Woodley.
Do you even care to see him like that? Because Dana said they're going to rematch next. Do you even care to see it?
I mean, you got to give him a chance to win his belt again, but like, dude got embarrassed out there. He wasn't even wearing the black and gold trunks. He was wearing red.
You want to wear red?
Why?
For China. Because that was the whole like thing that Sean kept playing all week. Was Chinaman.
No way.
Yeah. So he wore red for China to represent, his Chinese ties, and
didn't work out.
Hey, rather dead than red, baby.
Rather dead than red. That's for sure.
Red, baby. USA. Sean Strickland brought it to him. I noticed this too. Izzy, it feels like whenever he's like fighting for the belt, he's like one of the most like as an up and comer contender. He was one of the most exciting guys to watch. He was a style bender for a reason. He would do sweet shit all the time. He had the fight with Calvin Gastelum, the one against Robert Whittaker for the belt. He knocked him out.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else since it, it's kind of been like coasting to decisions. Like he's been like scared to lose. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's scared to like fight, just get in there and trade him.
Yep.
I mean, when he fought Pereira the second time, was on the offense. When he has the belt, dude, he's just not that same guy. I don't know. It's very frustrating.
Yeah, for sure.
I respect him, but I'm just not as much of a fan.
It's tough to watch, man. When he's in there not doing anything, it's pretty tough to watch. But he doesn't got the belt on anymore, and Sean Strickland's not going to change the way he fights. So if Izzy comes in there with that same shit, if they do get a rematch, he's probably just going to get his ass whooped again.
I mean, Sean was like a tailor-made matchup for him, a stand-up fighter who just wants to stand and bang. That's what Izzy is.
Yeah.
That's a tailor-made matchup for you to win. He didn't even. I don't know. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough. And of course, today is September 11th, so prayers and memories to go out to everybody that was lost on the attacks in the World Trade Center and the Twin Towers, and prayers to all those who lost family members who dealt with things going forward on that day. Obviously, is a terrible day in our nation's history, but something we will never forget and something that lives through all of us. I know I remember going into school that day and the teacher crying at the TV. And like nobody knows what's going on, and then all of our parents come pick us up, and we go home. And my dad told me what happened. It's just wild. It was wild. But
I remember selfishly, I got home, and my babysitter, this old lady Edie, was there, and she'd always like change the news, like when I took a nap or was doing something, and like I tried to put on Cartoon Network or whatever channel we had, and it was on every single channel. I was pissed at Edie about it because I didn't know what the hell was going on. I was like, Edie, you broke this shit.
Yeah.
No, some bad shit went down, but rest in peace.
Rest in peace to everybody that lost their lives on that day for sure. And yesterday, you have it in here. Yesterday was a national holiday. It was the opening Sunday of NFL football season. A lot of great games. Which ones were you locked in on?
To start the day, I was pretty pissed off. was football rage. It was a rage because Lucas and I purchased a Sunday ticket, and it doesn't come with the red zone. You have to buy red zone separately. So I had to figure that out for my YouTube TV. That was annoying as fuck. But before then, I was locked in. My feelings were hurt. My money was hurt. Steelers and 49ers.
Yeah.
Steelers supposed to have a great defense. That where was it?
Brock Purdy looked pretty damn good.
220 yards. Three touchdowns, right?
That was disgusting to watch.
Remember
Patrick
when Bill
Peterson.
Simmons called the Steelers the real team that went 8-2 and the Lions were the pretending team?
Yeah.
Is that what he said for real?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what he said.
I love that.
He said, I don't get why people are buying the Lions hype when the Steelers were a better team.
Somebody please clip that audio with some highlights from those games.
I think it's actually in the original clip that I sent you, the 3-minute one. I think it's somewhere in there. It's like right around there because it was when he was talking about Lions.
Oh yeah, I mean, that was.
I had red zone on all day. It was just fun to watch, man. Tyreek Hill doing his thing. Griffin in the back. Sorry I had to do it to you, brother. Oh, he's right there. Griffin. Sorry I had to do it to you, brother. Tyreek Hill and Tua Tagovailoa went crazy. I scored the most points in the league. And I had Brandon Ayuk on my bench. If I had started Brandon Ayuk, I would have been at like 180.
Yeah, you get Calvin Ridley too.
Yep.
Calvin Ridley and Tyreek Hill. You're probably the best team in the league.
And Tua.
Yeah, Tua. My God.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew it was going to be a high-scoring game, and then I saw, even when I saw Tua's numbers, I was like, oh shit. To myself, I was like, well, I wonder what Justin Herbert did. I thought it was going back and forth. I forgot about Austin Eckler. No, Tua had the 455?
Yeah.
Or 466 or something?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think it's the fourth most yards in a Dolphins game in NFL history.
Yeah.
For, of course, starting quarterback. So, shout out my fantasy team going strong. It was a fun week for me. I got to sweat one out in my other league.
Yeah.
Because I'm up by like 20, and he's got Stephon Diggs. So I just need my boy Sauce to clamp up.
I mean, that game, it was insane. Congrats to Tua Tagovailoa. I know that to me, he's been like a mobile Goff. That's what the Mike Evans stuff. If I finally snapped in my head like that, I was like, please, let's do it. Mike Evans had a touchdown this weekend too, but
Yes, he did. He looks good.
I mean, you give these quarterbacks weapons, they're going to produce.
Yeah.
And they're somewhat respectable.
Mike Evans did have a touchdown this week because the Vikings, those frauds, lost to Baker Mayfield and the Bucs. They got baked. We're going to get into that later. We got a whole segment about why the Lions are going to rip through the NFC North and what's going on there.
How about the Giants? Getting embarrassed on national television.
That was embarrassing. 40-0.
My Lord.
40-0.
Lucas, is Dak Prescott not him? Is he not like the best in the game right now?
Shut up. Shut up.
Dak didn't even look good.
I would say
14 passes.
Yeah.
Then they scored 3 offensive touchdowns and 2 of them were rushing.
And the defense was going nuts, man. They were lighting up everybody. Forced 5 fumbles.
I've never seen a defensive performance like that.
Yeah.
I really haven't, at least recent times. And the special teams block for a touchdown.
It's crazy.
Oh, yeah, I lost to Maz in our fantasy matchup by 0.2 something.
Yeah, he told me because Graham Gano missed like 3 kicks.
Yep.
Yikes. That's scary.
How about Joe Burr?
Joe Burr.
82 yards total?
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yikes indeed. Myles Garrett was feasting.
Hey, we talked about it. Remember we trying to shout Jawan Taylor before the KC matchup?
Yeah.
I'm like, look at this guy just working Jawan Taylor. And then we looked it up like, Zadarius Smith.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Oh, the Browns got Zadarius Smith.
Oh, that makes sense.
Dalvin Tomlinson. Fucking Myles Garrett. That's a good defense.
That is a good defense, man. They're full of playmakers, and they showed it. They shut down the Bills. So sorry to anybody that had anybody on the Giants offense, anybody on Cincinnati's offense, anybody on Pittsburgh's offense.
Yeah.
Dude, whoever had the Cowboys defense this week,
44 points before the game was over. Cowboys defense.
The Browns secondary might have been one of the best performances I've seen out of a secondary possibly ever. T. Higgins, 0 catches. Jahmyr Chase had like 21 yards.
Yeah.
Like the way that defense was flying around, Denzel Ward single-handedly just clamped up Jahmyr Chase that whole game. Jim Schwartz has those boys going.
Oh, yeah, Jim Schwartz. I forgot Jim Schwartz.
Jim Schwartz, he's a great defensive coordinator,
He is a great defensive coordinator.
Super Bowl winning defensive coordinator.
He's with Philly, he was with Buffalo. I have a question, though. How much of that do you blame the rain?
I mean, both sides had to deal with it.
Because Deshaun Watson
everybody
looked like
played in the rain
shit for a minute, too.
For a minute, and then he got it together, and he was dotting it up.
He finished like 150.
I think it was the last drive before halftime. He threw like 3 perfect balls in a row to sidelines right out of bounds. 2 of them to Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow looked like garbage. That Bengals offense looked like garbage.
Detroit supremacy in the Woodward Sports Chat. Easy. How about the Bears? I got something for you guys later.
He's got smoke for the Bears.
I got smoke for the Bears.
We got smoke for the rest of the division. We're going to be talking about that soon. And obviously, we're going to talk about the Mel Tucker situation coming up pretty soon. But tonight, there's one more game left. One more game of opening
It's gonna be a banger.
week football. Yeah, it is going to be a banger. It's Bills-Jets.
Yeah.
2 Super Bowl hopefuls. Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers. How do you see this one going?
At first, I mean, you guys know I'm high on the Jets already. But at first, I was thinking Jets. I still would be surprised if they ran away with it. But I was talking to Lucas before we left today to come here about the Bills' defensive line because we know the one weakness of the Jets is their offensive line. So I think they're definitely still in it. But that, Josh Allen always struggles against the Jets. Mm-hmm. If I'm not mistaken, they're the ones that gave him that elbow injury that kind of you saw his performance like go down. Then afterward, it's in MetLife, right?
Yes. Braylon's there.
Fucking man, I might go Jets. I think the smart money obviously should be on Bills because they're more in chemistry. There's like a new team. We gotta be fair to like what the Jets are, but like I like that defense a lot.
I do too.
I like that defense a lot.
I need my boy Sauce. Sauce, come on. Put on for Detroit. Put on for Spenny. I need you to clamp up Stephon Diggs. I don't want him to get a single catch.
What's the weather like for that one actually?
Because
if it's a little bit rainy, I'm
Josh Allen
definitely
to
taking
go
the Jets.
crazy. I'm playing JB. It's the battle of the booths right now.
I'm playing against JB. I'm sorry, I'm playing against Josh Allen. So I need to be wet and rainy.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they're running the ball that well. Obviously outside Josh Allen.
They got Damian Harris now, though.
I think.
And I know that sounds like, but
no, it doesn't. I picked them up in fantasy for that reason.
And then Josh Allen too on the ground. I think if it's a rainy game, I think it favors the Bills a little bit more, to be honest.
Why?
The offensive line.
Yeah, that trench work.
I'm taking the Jets.
Well, I know, but compared to like think about the Bills' defensive line, you can say what you want, but like Ed Oliver's a big body, Gregory Rousseau's good, and then who we just talked about on the way, Leonard Floyd.
Yeah,
like he can do it in the row. Like they could mess with Matt Milano's still there, and then the safety play. I mean, Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer are probably the best safety tandem in the league, so it could be tough for the Jets, especially not playing together.
Coming up, ditto. Maybe.
CJ Kirby coming up for sure.
For sure, but I'm just saying at the moment, like
Yeah.
that's who, like they're up there.
Yeah.
But I would take that just as of right now. Those are 2 Pro Bowlers, already bona fide Pro Bowlers.
Yeah, I think I'm taking Jets with a bias. How about that?
Yeah.
I'll throw my bias in. Who do you got, Spinny?
What's up?
Who do you got?
Probably the Jets, man. I just think they're going to get it done. I don't know. Something about the team this year.
Plus
Aaron-
money right now. You gonna flirt with it?
Yeah, I might throw a couple schmeckles on there, but I just think Aaron Rodgers is going to come for throats this year, and he's gonna knock out the Jets or the Bills week 1. Send a message.
That division's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch.
I gotta relook at my power ranking. We want to do power rankings tomorrow?
We can do that. Dolphins.
Yeah, Dolphins shooting up.
Dolphins shooting up for sure.
I pray I had them in the first one because I remember I was like iffy on it, but
And they don't even have Jalen Ramsey yet.
Yeah.
how about Phillips? Jaden Phillips. I mean, I knew he was good last year, but he's the one that sealed the deal on that game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you still got Chubb.
He's
as well.
like a rising like star in this
Yeah.
league. And then you have Christian
And
Wilkins
Christian
right next to him.
Wilkins,
yeah.
Manuel Agba on the outside, Bradley Chubb on the outside.
Because I remember when he was
Javon
drafted,
Holland.
there was a couple guys, because that's the same class as Aiden, if I'm not mistaken, right? Was he drafted the same year as Aiden?
Jalen Phillips?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you.
I would look it
I
up.
couldn't tell you.
Chris Jones did end his holdout. He signed a 1-year deal. It is done by Catsbro Sports. Nice. But no money on that yet, but we'll figure out soon. And we're going to go to break real quick. When we come back, we will be discussing Mel Tucker and the situation going on in East Lansing. But first, let me tell you about Big Boy, because burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. It's burger time. Try the best cheeseburger or our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Craving chicken, try the Dolly chicken sandwich, or turn up the heat with Bob's hot chicken sandwich. Upgrade your regular fries with our chili cheese or loaded baked potato fries. Save some room for dessert. We have a treat for you. Indulge in our Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake, or satisfy your sweet tooth with our funnel cake fries. All that and more at Big Boy.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. So register today at OutdoorEquipCo.com, and even you could have DMAC on your landscaping crew.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Do you have football on the brain? Fall ushers in college professional football, and this year is going to be awesome. Fall is also the perfect time to shop for your home and auto insurance. Shop it like a pro with Swiss Insurance. They cover Woodward Sports and they cover you too. Ask Mark at Swiss today at swissins.com or call him personally at 248-800-4177. Again, that's 248-800-4177.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. Make sure you like and share the stream. And if you're listening on audio platform, leave a 5-star review. So we talked about NFL opening weekend in the beginning, but it's time to address the elephant in the room. The biggest news of the weekend in Michigan, in the state of Michigan, and what's going on with Mel Tucker and his situation in East Lansing. So we all know what happened. We know that he admitted to masturbating on the phone call. We know he admitted to different things. He said it was a consensual relationship. He released a statement right before the show talking about purchasing her shoes, sending her a Venmo, her being a part of the relationship. And then it doesn't matter to me. It's something that can't be done. It is a lack of judgment. It is a bold stain on the University of Michigan State. And I'm sick of it personally, as a Michigan State alumni, as a Michigan State fan. I just want us to be in the news for the right reasons for once. Like I was up there in East Lansing during the Larry Nassar situation. I worked for the state news during the Larry Nassar situation, and it's enough of this already. It's enough of this already. Mel Tucker has coached his last game for the Michigan State Spartans. He was suspended without pay until the Title IX investigation is over, which will be in October 5th and 6th, I believe, is when the hearing is. And then they can proceed with what they're going to do going forward, but it'll give them freedom to get out of the contract if they wait until then. So we'll see what's happening. But like I said, I'm sick of it, man. It's too many things in a row. Obviously, there's been 4 major situations that happened coming out of East Lansing in the past couple of years, none of them being good, and this is something that needs to stop. You cannot be a leader of men in this organization. You cannot be someone who is trying to mold young minds on a football team and behave in this fashion. It is unprofessional, it is unbecoming, and it's downright irresponsible for a man of his stature, a man in his situation, to act like this, to do things like this. And it needs to be done. The situation needs to be cut and dry. He's gone, and we move on.
Yeah, there is. Initially, when I made my tweet about this, I think it was kind of gross and kind of just like a misjudgment by the entire Michigan State program by allowing him to head into the season with it. And I get it was like a private investigation, but those who knew. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't think it was like you said, Spinny, bro, it's just a bad look on the program. And like Mel Tucker as a leader, some of the reactions I got on that tweet is where I was going with that one, is that like people are like, we don't know if he's guilty or not. It doesn't matter. Bro.
Doesn't matter.
When you have he
admitted to doing it.
Yeah, he masturbated on the phone. And the other thing too is like just as a judgment, if any, you don't get yourself involved in a relationship like that with someone who champions like your sexual violence or against the sexual violence, I should say, like a co-captain of the team, all that stuff like that. It's just like it's not good judgment. It's not clear judgment. And is he married?
Yes.
Is he married?
Yes.
Like brother, as a leader, like you're a leader of a program. You got everything that Antonio didn't get. And D'Antonio gave you results. Not that Tucker had a good year with Kenneth Walker, but then the following disappointing after. You disappointed as a leader, the program, your family, your kids, the kids with the Hunger program, their families, the donors. Like I said, he's got everything that D'Antonio didn't. The richest, one of the richest contracts in coaching history right now. Mm-hmm. The weight room. I mean, everything. He got everything that D'Antonio didn't. You let down a lot of people. He knows you let down a lot of people. He spoke on it, but it has to be done. And for the people that are pro Tuck, because if it is a consensual relationship, however, whatever it's deemed as, it doesn't matter. At this point, when you Google Mel Tucker's name, this is going to come up.
Yeah.
You can't recruit with that on your resume. You can't walk into a recruit's home and look their mother in the eyes and continue whatever kind of spiel you're trying to sell them on when you yourself as a man have made the wrong decisions. Like you can't be trusted as a leader at that point. You're not going to get any recruits like that. It is what it is. Bro, this is on CNN. Mm-hmm. This is a USA Today article.
Yep.
It's all bad. It's all bad.
And Discipler22 in the chat says Tucker came out and said that it's a false allegation against him. He did release a press statement, like I said, saying that they were in a consensual relationship. It was nothing forced to happen. He said in the length of the 36-minute phone call, nothing was said to make him feel like it was an uncomfortable situation or anything in that facet. But still, it can't be done, man. You can't do this, especially with specifically the school you represent, the fan base you represent, what we've gone through in the past 8 years. I personally, as a Spartan, as an alumni, I am sick of having to come up here and apologize. I am sick of having to come up here and try to wrap my head around things and try to put on a brave face and just say, go green. We'll get through this as a family. We'll get through this as Spartan Nation. That does not represent us. That does not represent our school. I'm sick of it. I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to have to apologize for where I went to school. I don't want to have to apologize for the situation that other people bring to light at my school. East Lansing is like a second home to me. And this is getting old fast. Something needs to be done with the board. Something needs to be done with the president. This is more than just a singular incident. This is getting too much, too often.
And again, to the Brandon Bowles in the chat. Oh, I forgot. It's guilty until proven innocent. Again, if you're a Michigan State fan, the game is to win football games. So that's the name of the game. You are not going to walk into recruits' home with by the way, your slogan, brilliantly, by the way, and I'm a Michigan State guy, Tuck coming. You're going to walk into a recruit's home after this incident, guilty or not. It's on the resume. People will make their, you know how it is publicly. You just said it's guilty until proven innocent. You're not going to continue to campaign as Tuck coming or recruit people at all. Mel Tucker, it's all like, you're all due respect, you're a joke at this point. And to be honest with you, you should have better judgment to get yourself involved in a relationship like that anyway. Chris?
Yeah, and as a state alumni like Spencer, I just wanted to double down and say that everything Spencer said is true. Us students are sick of having to deal with, and us alumni are sick of having to deal with these situations of people that are reflecting poorly on a brand. Where, look, I know leaders in the school that are really trying to do a lot of good things, mm-hmm. and those are becoming undone by now multiple incidences. And now this is not just one thing after another. This is systemic now. This school needs major change, major overhaul, major reshaping, reconstruction from the ground up, because this is one of the best programs in the nation. And I truly believe that as somebody, that's the decision why I went there, is because I believed in that program, and I still believe that program can be as amazing as it has been. So in order to get back to that, it needs total reconstruction.
Yeah, and to get back to anything of relevance, it's not going to be under the leadership of Mel Tucker. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I apologize to anyone who's hurt by that, but I also apologize to the victims of sexual violence who feel type of way about this article and everything else. Like, it's unacceptable behavior. Whether it was consensual or not, this is a scandal regardless. If this came out just in them having a relationship alone, he probably would have been under investigation or or probable cause to be fired. And there's a morality clause in all these contracts, by the way. Now, usually these coaching contracts are guaranteed, but when you Spinney loves this word, I don't know if I'm using it correctly, but besmirch the face of the Michigan State football program or the Michigan State University, there goes your morality clause. You're making the university that pays you, the donors that help them pay you, look bad. And that's where you're qualifying yourself to get that contract cut in half. And it's a shame. There was some hopes from Mel Tucker. I think it was more questionable this year, but it is what it is. I think the question moving forward, and which we're going to have a guest coming on here shortly, is like, how does the rebuild start? What is the next step? What coaching candidates are you looking at to replace Mel Tucker? I know D'Antonio until October, probably for the rest of the season. Yeah. Along with the secondary coach, what's his name? Mm-hmm. I know that they're stepping in to fill in for Mel Tucker until then. And honestly, I love D'Antonio. D'Antonio is the one who revived the Michigan State program. And Michigan State was never relevant in the conversation of college football until D'Antonio came along. So I think it's good that he gets involved. I think it's obviously clear that he's still very passionate about the program for him to stay involved, which is awesome because D'Antonio's been a part of like Ohio State. Yeah. I'm saying, so for him to have the ties to Michigan State and keep them as strong as they are, like I think that's a great guy to have in this next step moving forward. He's old though too.
It's huge. He is, and Coach Barnett is obviously going to be the active coach while Mel Tucker is away. But having Mark D'Antonio step in is huge. He's one of the biggest pillars in Michigan State athletics history, and to have him come back, it's very good. He'll be a calming voice. He'll be a voice of leadership, a guy that a lot of people, almost everybody there respects, and is a voice that can speak to these young men of the program. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what to do anymore. I don't want to have to keep doing this every time something happens with my school, every time something happens with a program, an organization that I love. That when a game is on, I'm more locked in than in any sport, in any facet of anything else in my life. And emotionally, it's draining as an alumni, as a representative of the school, as a representative of the school in sports media. I want to stop having these conversations. I want to stop having these talks about being apologetic to the parties involved, to those that it affected. And going forward, there needs to be a change. There needs to be something done right. And like I said, Mel Tucker won't coach another game at Michigan State University.
And he shouldn't.
And he shouldn't. It's not something that you can come back from when you look at what's going on with the school and with the school's recent history. It's not something that can be overlooked. It's not something that can be pushed aside. It's not something you can come back from. And we're going to get into more of that later when Owen Owes Us joins the show. But first, let me tell you guys about Lady Jane's. You can come into Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience. Register for a trip of your dreams and all expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That's right, no expenses spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Boner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Boner and Broder.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Downtown's newest sports bar has 13 trackman simulators, certified instructors, and most importantly, a full bar and restaurant. 5-round golf leagues are back, debuting September 11th. That's today. Compete nationwide for a chance to win a trip to the Dominican Republic. Bring a foursome or sign up as an individual to be placed on a team at 5irongolf.com. Use code Woodward10 for 30% off the league. That's 5irongolf.com to sign up.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on woodwardsports.com. Make sure you like and share the stream. If you're listening on audio platform, leave a 5-star review. He is Eazy. We got Chris in the TD booth, Lucas on the ones and twos. I am Spencer Raxter, and now we are joined by our former compatriot, the man who used to be on the ones and twos, Owen Ozust. Owen, appreciate you for joining us, man. I wish it was under better circumstances, but we all know what's going on at Michigan State. We all know the situation that Mel Tucker has put himself and the program in, and I would just like to get your thoughts on it and what's going on from inside the arena where you're at.
Yeah, I mean, well, for one, do I sound good? You guys got me?
Yeah. Appreciate joining in.
Okay. Well, for one, obviously Harlan Barnett, he used to coach with Mark D'Antonio, defensive backs coach, very good coach. Coach back here in 2011, came back under Mel Tucker. He's a very good coach all the way around. I don't know if he's head coach material, but at the moment it's about stability with this program, and that's what Mark D'Antonio and Harlan Barnett can offer. There's guys familiar with Mark D'Antonio on this program as well, because I believe it was like 13 guys were recruited on this team, including their quarterback, Noah Kim, by Mark D'Antonio to come to Michigan State. Obviously, Xavier Henderson was the last player to play under Mark D'Antonio, and he is now gone. But, I mean, it's a really tough situation. Everyone was really fired up. Going into Washington, they felt like they had a chip on their shoulder, a lot of good things, and obviously the news drops at like 1 a.m. last night or something like that, and then you're just scurrying to figure things out, and it's really about stability. Mark D'Antonio just arrived on campus a few hours ago as well, so they're just trying to figure out what the game plan is, who's going to be coaching. But at the moment, if you're a player, it's about Washington, and that's the only thing you can really do, you know?
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to ask. I wanted to get your feel on what these players are dealing with, how they're, because like you said, this is one of the biggest matchups of the year for Michigan State. They're going in up against a top 10 ranked team in the country coming into East Lansing. So how do these guys, kind of shake this off and just focus on football?
Yeah, I think the worst part about all this is that the players did not know, obviously, and they had to find out via social media. So, like, that's just the worst thing that can happen to a player, like find out your head coach is suddenly gone at a week before you have to play the number 8 team in the country. But nonetheless, for Washington, you got currently the number 2 quarterback in the country passing-wise. They have one of the best wide receiver corps in the country as well. Their defense is very solid. They're going to throw the football all over the place. So your defense has to be ready, secondary especially. And, I mean, that's Harlan Barnett's specialty. And Mark D'Antonio is a defensive specialist as well. And I'm sure they're going to stress that very much this upcoming week. As for just, the distraction, you just have to focus on what's in front of you. There is no other way to state it than, hey, like, we have a game to go play. Let's go prove everybody wrong. Because you know what? If somehow Michigan State was able to pull off the upset, the story that just develops right there, like, this is still the same program. This is still the same players, same coaches, obviously, besides Mel. If you can pull that together and avoid all the distractions for Mark D'Antonio and Harlan Barnett to come in and just somehow find a way to win, would be awesome. Even if they were able to make it competitive, I think that's a win for Michigan State.
Are there any candidates in the rankings or as coordinators right now that I guess either of you, especially you, Owen, because I know you cover the sport weekly, that you would like to see coming here that you could think help this program move forward?
Well, I mean, I think it's a very difficult question at the moment. Obviously, there's a lot of good guys. I think Duke's head coach is one that really sticks out to me. But at the moment, it's also about convincing them to come to Michigan State because of, I mean, it's not really, hidden that there's been a lot of problems here, and you're going to have to figure out what's the right fit. I think, obviously, I thought for a long time Mel Tucker was the right fit, obviously, until a couple of nights ago, and you have to really do a deep dive on research background. That's something that's still developing. I don't think anybody on the current staff is that guy to fill in, but that's where I do feel bad. I really do feel bad for everyone, all the coaches, all the assistant coaches, and everyone else in this program. Once they bring in a new head coaching regime, I mean, they're going to lose their jobs. It's just the way it is. Most of them won't be retained, and it's just because of an unfortunate situation that was out of their controls. But this is the sport, you know. As far as like replacing him, I think it's way too early to tell. But at least you are far out in front of this, where you can have the entire season and a good chunk of the offseason to really figure out who you want as your head coach.
Yeah, and I just wanted to get your take on like the vibe on campus, because obviously, like you said, Mel Tucker was a guy that a lot of the student body got behind, a guy that a lot of them supported going forward, and what he was doing we thought we were on a good pace. You know, him building this team had some good recruits come in. The defense was looking better. How's the student body handling this situation, and what's the vibe on campus with just another horrible situation brought into East Lansing in the past 5 years?
It's deflated. I mean, there's no other way to really put it, to be honest. To go from such a high of being 2-0, you feel really good. You never know what's going to happen. Washington's coming in. I mean, I saw Mel like literally hours before the news came in and everything like that. He was in a good mood. Players are in a great mood. They love having the fact that there's a chip on their shoulder. I mean, nothing's going to change game planning wise. You're still going to have the same game plan. So you have to just go in with that same kind of mindset. As for like the students and everybody else, I mean, it's just everyone's disappointed. There's no other way to put it. And you really don't know what to think, honestly. Obviously, Mel just released a statement. I don't know if you guys read it on the show or not, from his attorney. But, I mean, it's still an ongoing situation. I think he is right when he says that the hearing on October 5th is going to be a sham, because, like, he gave some really good facts of, like, you know, he's not really going to get a fair shot, but nonetheless, I mean, he's going to be let go. So, I mean, at least to get out of the contract, you probably won't be paying the money, but he's going to be suing. The woman is also probably going to be suing the university. It's going to be something that's be lingering over Michigan State once again. But you know what? I mean, they've dealt with these kind of situations before, and there's nothing else you can really do.
Yeah, unfortunately. And again, I just want to reiterate this to people in the chat. I don't know if you heard this earlier or not, but like, guilty or not, it doesn't matter. As a football program, he can't be the face of your program with this school's unfortunate history. It's truly unfortunate, and that's why you see like the somberness around Owen or around Spencer. Is like it's a messed up situation all in all. It's not good, not good at all. I guess timeline wise, it's hard to even think about that now. But timeline wise, I mean, when can you see football being the conversation again or being relevant again? Do wins need to happen for that?
It's right now. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be right now. There is no time to recover. Unfortunately, you're in the middle of a season. This is week 3. You got a number 8 team coming in. They're very stressed on getting prepared as quickly as possible. Mark D'Antonio, he comes in immediately, is entering meetings, is what I've heard. They're game planning for Washington. How can they create stability, keep players here, so nobody hits the portal, and they can try to keep this team in a good spot for the rest of the season, because at the end of the day, I mean, still the same goals. They're all in front of you. You're still undefeated. You don't have any. You have to take all the positives in this situation, because I mean, Washington is not. They just won't care. You know, they're not going to care about your situation. They're going to run right over you if you let them. So you can't let that happen. I know a lot of students are putting their season tickets online as well to try to sell them, but you know what? If you beat Washington, your season's far from over. That's all I can say, really. You just got to take all the positives. That's, like I keep saying, if there's nothing else you can do in this point.
And Owen, appreciate you for joining us. Obviously, you have a lot of information being behind the scenes with the football program and with the athletic department in general. I just wanted to ask, like you said, Coach D'Antonio is finally back, on campus now. Have you, been in the room with Coach D'Antonio and Coach Barnett, and what are they doing to kind of get these guys, get the players ready for Washington to get their heads off of this whole situation?
Yeah, I mean, obviously D'Antonio, I don't know if you saw in the press conference with Alan Heller, the emergency press conference they had yesterday at 5 o'clock, but Heller said that he called D'Antonio and he's like, hey, Mark, we could use your help. And he's like, I'm here for whatever you need. So the fact that D'Antonio has to come in, adjust to what is going on, obviously, but it's very unsure of how much he's actually going to have a hand in everything. But obviously, he's going to be the face on the sideline. I fully expect to be him, Harlan, and the rest of the team running out of that tunnel on Saturday. And I think that's a really cool thing that Michigan State fans will be able to see. Just to have that stability once again is in this time of unknowingness. I mean, that's I've been here for the past 4 years, and this is, it just feels like there's unsure, just a feeling of being unsure the entire time, like some new situation, whether it was the shooting, this, COVID. There's always something that's been going on at this university. It's just been, nonstop. But I will say the one positive, I don't know about you, Spencer, but the fact that I grew up watching Mark D'Antonio, idolizing this guy. We had so many great teams winning the Rose Bowl. Rose Bowl team is coming. I don't know if you guys have mentioned this at all, but the Rose Bowl team is being honored against Washington. Yeah. So I think that's another really cool thing to remind everyone that this is Michigan State University. We've succeeded in the past. We've dealt with diversity in the past, and we're going to get through it. So, there's nothing else you can really do but move on. And obviously, if you're a football player, heads on the game and bring on the Huskies.
Yeah, for sure. I mentioned it that, Mark D'Antonio and Tom Izzo are two of the biggest pillars that hold up the athletic department going forward, and those two guys are going to be leaned on a lot for leadership and everything that the situation arises. But, it's like I said, Mel's gone. He's not going to coach another game for Michigan State, and we're on to Washington. And I appreciate you for joining us. Appreciate you for sharing some insight. Go Green, and we'll talk to you later, man.
See you, man.
See you guys.
I have to some way segue this to Fairway Packing Company, because for over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, casinos with prime beef, Wagyu, and dry-aged beef. Experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit Steak Shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks, or order online at fairwaypacking.com.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Now, how would you like to win a $100,000 cash trip to Vegas, a getaway? Take your closest friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Syntron Energy. Drink it and live it. You can purchase a 24-pack today and enter for your chance to win. The 100K Vegas getaway is at drinksyntron.com/Vegas, or you can participate by buying a Syntron at your local Meijer store. It's Syntron, the healthier energy drink with great taste and a choice for people who desire to look good, feel good, and be the best versions of themselves. drinksyntron.com/Vegas for more information.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on woodwardsports.com. Make sure you like and share the stream. If you're listening on audio platform, leave a 5-star review. All right, let's get past it. Let's talk some NFL. Let's talk
Yeah.
some Detroit Lions.
Woo!
Let's do that football. So, obviously, the Lions got a big Week 1 victory against the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead, and now
Yes,
they are
sir.
on to the Seattle Seahawks. Home opener. Seattle coming off of a terrible loss to the Rams, so they lost 30-13. Geno Smith looked awful. He had 16 of 26 completions, 112 yards, and a single touchdown. DK only 3 catches. Lockett only 2 catches. JSN only 3 catches. Seahawks offense looked putrid. Aaron Donald was everywhere. That Rams secondary that has maybe 2 people you ever heard of in it.
Shout out Russ Yeast, 419 product.
Shout out Russ Yeast. Played fantastic. They stopped the Seahawks passing attack, shut them down. And now that team is coming into Detroit to face the Detroit Lions, coming off of one of the biggest wins in recent history. Easy, how do you see this game playing out?
We actually got some word from Dan Campbell on this one, too.
Yes, we do.
They're a lot like us just in regard to they have a lot of different schemes, the gaps, and inside the gaps there's 5 different ways to run it with pullers. They have the fast motion blocks. They have the read run and the RPO with Geno, certainly. So, and then they've got weapons, you know. They got Jigba at the slot, who's just he just got his feet wet. This is his first kind of round of it. But then you've got 14 out there, who's a heck of a player, and Lockett. So they've got plenty of weapons. The tight ends. And defensively, you know, I thought they held their own for a while, and it just, you know, it got to the point where I think after the injuries, they got a little bit behind the offensive injuries, and the defense was, you know, had gotten a little bit worn down. But this team always presents problems. It's been a thorn in our side for 2 years, and so we know what's going to be coming in here. We're going to assume the best out of them, and they got after us pretty good last year, real good. So that's something we won't forget.
And they're not going to forget something that obviously Lions fans aren't going to forget is what Seattle did to us last year. Not only winning that game, but then keeping us out of the playoffs. So, you know, fuck the Seahawks. Let's go. Lions fans, this needs to be the loudest game in the history of Ford Field. I need everybody in there screaming from snap 1 to the last snap and just making sure those Seattle Seahawks know what they're walking into, because it's going to be a madhouse in there. I know you guys are going to get up. You're going to be lit coming off of that win against Kansas City. I'm excited to see what this team does. I'm excited to see what they look like going forward, and Lions' new defense has to at least get them to punt once, which they couldn't do last year.
Yeah. Yeah, last year was a rough matchup, and I think that's like a benefit for the Detroit Lions out of this one, because this is going to be a feisty Seattle Seahawks team. I think we were witness or victims of that last year heading into the Carolina game, where they kind of got their asses whooped. We saw the Detroit Lions turn around after they got their asses whooped and they beat the shit out of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and that's typically how things go. I don't think Seattle could be more motivated for this one after getting their ass whooped. And by the way, I was the only guy on this show try to show some respect to Sean McVay.
Do not take a huge victory.
34. I'm taking a victory. I mean, Sean McVay.
You saying season long or just week 1?
I think. I mean, you have 34 rookies in your team. You're gonna deal with some injuries on top of that too. I mean, I can't see him sustaining that. But to go in fresh on yesterday's game,
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like Seattle should have, and maybe not after we saw it yesterday, but almost just as much hype as the Detroit Lions. I mean, you look at the way this team has been built, the way it's been stacked. I think that's why you have to be respectful of them heading into this game. I know, although, you know, we are hot and we have the home field advantage. I mean, as Dan Campbell said, 2 years in a row, Pete Carroll's had his number. Mm-hmm. And let's not pretend like the Seattle Seahawks they're extremely talented, as he mentioned. You already knew about DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. They effed you up last year. Kenneth Walker as well. They had Jackson Smith and Jigba of that. You got Devon Witherspoon to hold up next to Tariq Woolen. They did a job on. I think he had the pick 6 against Jared Goff last year, if I'm not mistaken. They brought another interior defensive lineman too. I mean, this is a respectable Seattle team. Again, coming in fresh off an ass whooping by a team they were favored by. Wasn't that at home too?
Yeah.
Weren't they in Seattle? I mean, you got a feisty, tough, good. I won't say good. I'll say talented, because we got to see how the season plays out. The Seattle team headed in this next week, and I'm here for it. I think the Lions, though, I think they can handle it.
I think they can handle it, too. After what we saw that offense look like against the Rams defense, the Lions defense is better than the Rams defense. Yeah, the Rams might have Aaron Donald, but the Lions still have a better defense altogether. So if they can make Geno Smith look like that, 16 of 26 for 112 yards and 1 touchdown, the Lions should be able to get after him. Seahawks are going to be missing both of their starting offensive tackles, so that means Hutch, Houston, Charles Harris, Okwaras. Those guys are going to have to go out there and eat. They're going to go out there and set the tone, make sure that Geno Smith is not comfortable in the back of that pocket. But first, before we talk more about this, let me tell you guys about Woodward Nights. It's the newest show here on Woodward Sports. Booner and Broder, weekdays, 8 to 10 p.m. Make sure you guys tap in. It's Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. It's a lot of fun. They're going to be breaking down a lot of things. It's on today, right after the heavyweight. So make sure you guys go check out Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. But I do believe that the Lions can win this game. I do believe the Lions are going to win this game. And I think it's going to be much different than last year. Yeah, the Seahawks have a bad taste in their mouth after that loss against the Rams. Well, the Lions have a bad taste in their mouth after what the Seahawks did to them last year.
Yeah,
after
2 years
the
in a row.
Seahawks beat them last year, after they kept them out of the playoffs last year, the Lions are going to be – this is a revenge game. I know Carolina's a big revenge game. This is also a revenge game. They're going to go out there and they're going to punch the Seahawks in the mouth. I guarantee Chauncey Gardner-Johnson doesn't drop 2 interceptions again in this game. So going forward, I'm excited to see what the Lions can do. I'm excited to see how that defense looks because it looked pretty good against the Chiefs.
I mean, you want to talk about revenge games, too. I mean, don't forget, 2 years ago in Seattle, Pete Carroll's run the score up. He did not give a shit. He did not give a shit. He kept his foot on the pedal all game 2 years ago when they whooped the Detroit Lions. And again, I believe Tim Boyle started that game, if I'm not mistaken. I know Taylor Decker had a touchdown that game, too. It was rough. That was like the worst of the roster makeup that Dan Campbell had to go to work with. But I'm excited for this game. To give some context of both the loss and I guess some hype for Detroit Lions fans, both Abe Lucas and Charles Cross had to leave that game early against the Ravens. I'm sorry, the Rams. You got Aiden Hutchinson. I think Houston showcased like why I think he should be getting more snaps. And here's the official tweet too. Pete Carroll on Seattle Seahawks or Seattle Sports got some work to do to get injured left tackle Charles Cross and right tackle Abe Lucas back to play against Detroit. And then Tyler got a concussion. I guess he took a hit. We should see though.
Yeah.
Lucas, I almost called you Spinny. I don't know why I wanted to call you Spinny. Just now. You nervous for the Seattle game?
No. And the thing is Kansas City and Seattle going into this season were the weeks that I was stressing about the most. And now I'm honestly stressing more about Atlanta and Green Bay. Just because Atlanta's a setup game, you know what I mean? And if you get, Algier looked really good. Drake London didn't get a single catch, so you figure they're going to get him going. And Bijan looked really good. Their defense looked pretty solid. But Seattle, did you guys see Matthew Stafford running off the field against the Seahawks?
No.
Not a single, and I'm not exaggerating, there was not a single mark on his jersey. Completely clean jersey. So Jared Goff is going to have time to go back there and cook up to Amon-Ra St. Brown, who is going to have a rookie corner on him, or Tariq Woolen did not look sharp yesterday. That secondary looked suspect as hell. And I think the thing that really made this game get away from the Lions last year is they got into a shootout. They weren't able to control the line of scrimmage. They got away from the run game. If the Lions just pound David Montgomery and Jahmyr, they don't even have to utilize Jahmyr Gibbs overly much compared to what they did last week. But if they just keep steady with David Montgomery and keep the time of possession towards them, I think this game, it could get ugly because I think Geno's going to be under duress all day. And with you have that, with these playmakers on the defensive side of the ball, not to mention if Emmanuel Mosley comes back, he was in San Francisco last year. Who was in San Francisco's division? Seattle. So he already went up against Tyler Lockett. He's already went up against DK Metcalf. So I think the Lions, they really like this. This would be embarrassing if they lost, in my opinion, for the fact that at home, no tackles. This is a team that just lost to the Los Angeles Rams. You made a trade with the swap quarterbacks, so it could even be a bad look at that point. So this has got to be like, don't blow this one.
Yeah, I don't want to call it a must-win game because it's week 2 coming off of the Chiefs, but for the momentum of the season, for what's going forward, you got to win this game. You got to go forward. You have to beat this team. Like you said, it's the home opener. You're coming off of one of the biggest wins in the Lions' recent history. The no tackles. Hopefully Emmanuel Mosley will be back. That would be huge if he would, because that would be a nice body you could put on DK Metcalf and have him chase him around the field. And the Seahawks look defeated against the Rams. And you're better than the Rams. You're better in the trenches against the Rams. Your offensive line needs to go out there and absolutely assert their dominance against Seattle's defensive line.
Yeah, this is one of those games that helps you shovel another pile of dirt onto the SOL narrative, because this is the type of game traditionally the Detroit Lions will lose. I mean, the Seattle Seahawks are looking down on it. Like, we're kind of like, we're home. You think that's an easy win, but it's a tough win, and I think it's going to come down to coaching in this one. Because, again, Pete Carroll, you can say what you want about the Seattle situation, the tackles missing, but Pete Carroll has owned Dan Campbell, Ben Johnson, and company the past 2 years, respectively. Now, I think obviously it's a different Detroit Lions team. A way better defense, a lot more experience in defense, more experience within that system. You also have more talent as well. The B2 Bomber, I love that nickname. You got B2 Bomber in there too, as well as CJ GJ, and I'm expecting some turnovers.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if they'll be able. I don't think they're gonna be able to run the ball like they want to. I think the only guy who's going to be able to get some rushing yards on you is going to be probably Geno Smith. But, I mean, another thing, too, for the Seattle's offense, if those 2 tackles are out, 12 total yards is what they had in the second half of that game.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty damn sure outside of Aaron Donald, Detroit Lions can mimic a lot of what that Los Angeles Rams defense has going on because a lot of it's made up of rookies.
Yeah.
By the way, they couldn't get pressure on Matt Stafford. I believe there's 2 rookies on the tier offensive line. Of the Los Angeles Rams.
I would say, imagine what we were just saying about the Lions defensive line compared to the Rams. And I mean, obviously there's Aaron Donald, but depth-wise, you got to give it to the Lions. Now switch it to the other side, and the Lions offensive line compared to the Rams offensive line, it's a wash. Like if Seattle couldn't do anything against the Rams offensive line, they're going to struggle.
Yeah, the Lions
in Ford Field.
The Lions are going to own the trenches. It's going to be a hype game. It's going to be loud all game, and I'm excited to see what happens going forward. But we're going to get into more about the Detroit Lions, their performance, and what we expect out of them next week. But first, let me tell you about SMA, or the Sports Marketing Agency. The Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the S Word, helps fight the stigma about seeking help. So if you or someone you know is struggling, head to thesportsma.com and get the help you deserve.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Boner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Boner and Broder.
Wondering where the best Lions tailgate is? That's easy. Eastern Market. I know I'll be there this Sunday. Turn up. Make sure you guys stop by. The official Detroit Lions tailgate party at Shed 5 in Eastern Market. Woodward Sports will be broadcasting live for every home game. There's a 3-star Michelin buffet featuring Chef Aaron May. You know the food's good if the chef's got it's just Chef Aaron May. That's kind of fancy.
3-star Michelin chef.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. VIP parking and even tickets if you need them. How do you sign up? Go to bullseyeeventgroup.com and tailgate like a VIP. That's bullseyeeventgroup.com. Detroit supremacy. That's for you too, brother. You want to shake your hands on this bet? bullseyeeventgroup.com.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on woodwardsports.com. Like and share the stream. If you're listening on the audio platform, leave a 5-star review. Shout out to John Ellison in the chat. He says, I'm a season ticket holder for the Lions, and we need a chant besides the lame "Let's Go Lions." We need something the other teams will hate. Is there anything that comes to mind? I saw Stoke Not Scared in there, Detroit Grit, different things like that.
I mean, when it comes to chance, anything that you come up with yourself is gonna feel corny.
Yeah,
it's gotta happen naturally.
It's gotta happen.
It's gotta be in the flow of things.
Yeah, maybe like I actually know I would like a violent chant that might just like Coliseum-esque, kind of like looking scary. Everyone's just like grit.
Yeah.
Just something.
That'd be hype.
I want some violence, something scary. You know what I'm saying? Like fuck.
That would definitely be hype.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Every time
put fear in our opponent's hearts.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited. It's gonna be like they don't even have to chant though. They're just gonna go out there, get drunk, and yell, and it's gonna be louder. I think they're gonna break. I think it's gonna break the record.
You think so?
Yeah. You think Seattle's loud?
Yeah.
Think about Detroit inside of a dome after beating Kansas City.
I think it's gonna break the record for loudest stadium.
I mean, actually, you just want to jump into? You want to play the other clip, Nick Campbell?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
So, yeah, I'm expecting it to be loud. I'm expecting, you know, I know what Arrowhead is, and it was loud. I expect it to be louder than that. I really do. I just know our fans. I mean, and it's going to be, it'll be to the point where you can't hear yourself think. So, for them anyway.
I love this by Dan Campbell, by the way. Because first and foremost, he's kind of like attributing and giving you some responsibility in a little bit of this wins too. And we spoke on that Friday when Sheila Ford Hamp was like kind of looking for like a mission statement with the rebuild of this organization, and it was the city of Detroit. You guys are definitely a part of this. And then for him to Dan Campbell double downing that one, that was a little bit of a Jedi mind trick. He's not asking you guys to be there and support. He's expecting it. He's putting the expectations of everybody in attendance for that game to turn the fuck up. He just told you the Detroit's gonna be louder than Kansas City, which is by definition quite literally the loudest stadium in the entire league. I mean, we got to pull up, show up.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I know Lions fans. I know how we get down. I know how loud it was in there the last couple of games of the season. Now this is a new season. You're coming off a win against the defending champions. It's going to be loud in there, and you know the Lions are ready for it. They're going to have some silent counts. They're going to have some hard counts. They're going to have different things to throw off the Seahawks. But I want it to be deafening when the Seahawks are on offense. I want you to not be able to bring your children, even with those special earmuffs, because it's going to be too loud for them. You need to be deafening. You need to put fear in the hearts of Geno Smith and the offense. I don't want a Geno Smith audible to be heard by the left guard or the running back. Nobody should be able to hear him talking when the Seahawks are on offense. It's going to be amazing, and he knows. He knows that Lions fans show out, that they do this. Brian Branch said it like in Arrowhead. He got a little taste of what Ford Field is going to be like because Lions fans showed out so hard, and he said it's going to be lit. So I'm extremely excited to see what Lions fans do, how you guys show out. I know you show out in full force, and it's going to be something to watch. I'm excited for that. But
I mean, especially go ahead.
Yeah, before we get into more of that, let me tell you guys about what you want to do after the game. Because after the game, you could tune in to Woodward Sports Network and the Lions post-game show with Stick and Maz as they're going to be breaking down another win for the Detroit Lions as we win our home opener against the Seattle Seahawks. So make sure you guys tune in directly after the game for Stick and Maz. They have weekly special guests. It's the best post-game show in the state. Tune in to Woodward Sports post-game with Stick and Maz.
I mean, what I want to say, though, is like you talk about the audience being loud or Ford Field being loud. That's especially the case you want if there's two second-string offensive tackles in the game.
Yeah.
Guys who may not be in there for whether it's skill, maybe they just don't know all the protections. Like if you're extremely loud and they can't even get the communication off to set those protections or whatnot, like it's a wrap. And we got a super chat from John Allison that says, "Here you go. We are the Lions. We don't quit. No team can handle this Detroit grit. Grit, grit, grit." I like that, but I feel like people are a little bit too stupid to it.
Yeah.
All chance gonna feel corny.
Everybody's drunk.
Yeah, no one's gonna get that.
A little too much.
I like the effort though. I mean, it's there. It's a bar, really. If you think about it, I mean, put on Chris's mic. What do you? I know he's letting you down there. It's okay.
So for the second time, the thing that you have to do in this is you can't with these chants. You can't have too much rhythm. Like you said, it's gonna be a bunch of drunk people. You can't have a lot of rhythm, a lot of rhyme, a lot of complications to it. It's just gotta be simple. It's gotta be simple.
Lucas, can you? Never mind. He's going now.
Sleep behind the wheel over there.
I don't know. What are you doing, man?
I was making sure this post was getting up all right, and then Chris started talking. Don't you ever look at me again like that, Chris?
I'll look at you.
Dirty. No. We'll have a talk about this off camera.
Like a snack?
No. Look at me disgusted.
Look at that. You think
better
that's
watch
a snack? I'm full.
Oh, you're talking. All right. We'll keep the same energy off cam.
All right.
See where this discussion goes.
Make out? What the hell?
That's what he usually wants to do, but I always tell him no, and then I'm going to punch him in his face now, I think, next time he says it.
What if he's into it?
Well, what?
I mean, what if he's into it?
Who?
Chris?
Kink shame.
Yeah, he's kicked out.
I wouldn't be surprised. Don't put it past me.
Holmes in DC, clap, clap, clap. Holmes in DC. Listen, guys, you can't. They had to happen naturally.
Yeah, it's got to be an in the moment kind of thing. You can't pre-plan a chant.
And again, like you think about how drunk these people are going to be. Like you can't
have rhythm.
You need like one syllable. It's like
grit.
the best. Yeah,
I feel like just grit.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that too.
Just make it loud and violent.
I like that. You like that?
Scare children around you.
Yes.
Have your date like I do. Yeah. Yell at that bitch if she's not cheering.
Stand up and cheer.
Yeah.
I want children to be scared. I want people to hear you from 5 blocks away. Like this needs to be loud. We need to do it as Detroit Lions fans.
This is what you do. You get your girl. If you're taking your girl, because obviously a lot of tickets are already purchased. If you're taking her out somewhere fancy after or before, maybe I'd probably make the commitment after, because we want you to bring the energy for this one. You might be a little bit tired afterward. Tell her you throw a $50 on whatever venue you're going to. $50, $25. You're a little bit more broken than that, but on every false start the Seattle Seahawks have, and you let her know to encourage a false start. You guys sit your pretty ass up and cheer, baby. I'm sorry. I mean, I want you to open your mouth late at night too, but you gotta open your mouth during this game, and you gotta be screaming grit, or whatever the hell. You gotta sound like me when the game's over. Was that you with that sound effect in there? You're not beating the allegations between you and Chris right now. What was that?
It had nothing to do with me and Chris there. You were saying, I was just saying, you were saying grit, and you were saying later you're going to have to open your mouth. So
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Every false start, the dinner's going up $50. You want to go prime proper? I mean, let's
That's fair.
Let's get some false starts going. I need you up on third down.
I just pictured that story, Eazy, you told of us when you were just super drunk at a game and you're with the girl and you're like, get up. It's third down. Like,
for sure. Wobbling a little bit too. She's mean, like she's stupid.
Yeah.
I told the bitch the rules before she came.
That's fair.
You gotta stand up on third downs and scream.
You said that. You said bitch though.
Bitch. Listen.
And I said,
bitch. I'm just saying. The T is silent, don't work.
What do you think would be the biggest thing to get the Lions fans going, like, early in the game? Would it be like an interception, a hutch sack?
Hutch sack for sure.
Hutch sack.
You think so?
Early.
Or a long
first snap. First snap, Hutch in the backfield ripping down Geno.
Listen.
Or opening drive, Gibbs touchdown. Like he busts like a 30, 40-yard run for a touchdown.
Yeah, hutch sack or like one of the young guys. Because everyone's like, we like to pray when we're right? So there's a lot of like young guys that people like have high expectations for. And one of those young guys make a play that you could, I told you. Yeah. I told you. You're going to be screaming like a motherfucker. So hutch sack, BB interception, a CJGG interception, or just a big hit, but probably sack or turnover for sure.
I hope CJGJ lays out DK this week.
Oh, yeah.
I hope he kills
After
DK Metcalf.
that scummy move he pulled
on
against
Kia Witherspoon?
Yeah, totally blindsided him, not even close to the play.
Is there a fine or suspension coming for that, you think?
He should be suspended for a week.
He should at least be fined at the bare minimum. I'm surprised you want to throw it out.
Listen, Raj, suspend that man. He's a violent criminal. Suspend him for at least 1 week. Can't have that in the league.
Yeah, I mean,
at least on Sunday.
You hear how loud?
At least for this week.
You hear how loud it's going to be in Detroit? Like you had the Malice at the Palace here. You don't want those kind of actions going on at Ford Field in Detroit, one of the most violent cities in America. You don't want DK Metcalf out there acting like a jackass because we might storm the field.
That's true.
So suspend it, Raj. Make the right move.
Malice at the Palace.
Protect your assets. Protect your players. Because I'm fucking them up.
Children.
But don't do that to CJGJ. I'm fucking them up.
Yeah.
And CJGJ's already pumped up after the alleged punch of Isaiah Pacheco.
Oh, it's not alleged.
There's no damn punch.
That was a push.
It was a push.
That was a push.
He got a push in the face is pretty much a punch.
Just saying. Bring your ski mask.
And where was it? Corey Berry said if you're going to the game, your voice should sound like Spenny's was on Friday.
Yeah. Exactly. And when I had season tickets, that's how it was.
Mine's going to sound like it again.
Yep.
Like on Monday, at least I get a couple days. Or no, I don't.
What?
I was going to say at least I get a couple days to recover, but no, I'm back at it on Monday.
Yeah. Flipping right back to it.
Yeah, well.
Do you think they can do it?
I might have to chug a bottle of maple syrup before the game. Yeah, they're going to do it.
Yeah?
They're going to win.
No, not win. Loud.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
set
yeah.
the record. You think they'll set the record?
Yes.
So there's been so much pain inside this like football culture. And it's just like we saw the Lions last year just barely lose. But we had to remember it because it's like, all right, if we win that game, we would have been in the playoffs. Not to mention the Seahawks got it in the playoffs over the Lions.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's just like...
And they kick the Lions out.
Exactly. It's just like one of those things where it's like, fuck you.
I want CJ to wear the ski mask in pregame.
Sure.
Pregame warm-ups.
Yeah? That get you going?
Oh, yeah, bro. That would be so hype. Imagine him just running around the field with the ski mask on in pregame warm-ups.
I'm honestly getting goosebumps just envisioning that 800.
If he does, you know how many people are going to be showing up to the games in blue ski masks if he does that?
We should do it anyways.
Yeah, I'm doing it anyway. I like that.
Yeah.
I like the vibe. Like ski mask gang. We're here to fucking take your heart.
Here to take your heart. Here to take your soul. Detroit Lions are coming for throats this year. I can't wait.
You can't say take your soul and then say they're coming for throats. You just can't. Come on, dude. Is this a Michigan State? Is this in your is this a class you take?
Relax.
Just Jesus.
Let me tell you about Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. The gym that has always been known for being clean is now cleaner than ever. You can get a full-body workout in just 30 minutes of the 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this for just $10 a month, or you can upgrade to the Black Card for $24.99 and get use of all the amenities. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer at Academy Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Holton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
How would you like to see famous athletes like Jim Harbaugh, Dan McCarty, or Braylon Edwards play golf with average Joes? Thanks to Randy Wise Automotive and Woodward Sports, you'll be able to do just that. It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Make the wise choice and pay attention to Woodward Sports for more info. Oh,
do I do it?
Oh, yeah.
Do I do it right now?
Oh, yeah.
Do I make the purchase?
Is it a set of them? Is it two of them?
No, I think it's just one.
Grab two.
It's only $10.
I thought you cash.
It says one size, though.
It's going to stretch, though.
That's not fitting on your head, Spenny. That's not fitting on your head.
It's going to fit, man. I typed in extra large Honolulu blue ski mask. Let me see what size good.
We got a super chat from Burns. It says, I was at the Packers game at the end of season 2 2 years ago, and we were getting close to Seattle Loud in a losing season. It will be loud. Sorry, the chat scrolled up while I was done reading that one. I'm hoping so, because Dan Campbell put the expectations on. Just as he put the expectation on this team to win the division, I expect them to do so, because we got to see the rest of the division in action this weekend, baby. A little bit of Chicago Bears versus the Green Bay Packers. We got to see the Minnesota Vikings taking L to the lowly, and I get the whole season had to prove themselves as lowly or not.
They got baked.
But the lowly Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That one was at home.
That was home.
That was in Minnesota.
Their new unis.
Opening game.
Yeah.
New uniforms and everything.
And they got baked.
Cooked. Fuck them.
The Detroit Lions are going undefeated in the division this year. They're going to go 6-0. They're going to win all of these games by at least a touchdown. And they're going to embarrass the Chicago Bears twice.
But
the average margin of victory versus the Chicago Bears this year for the Detroit Lions is going to be 21 points. It is not going to be close. The Bears look terrible. Justin Fields look terrible. Their offensive and defensive line look terrible, and it's going to be fun to watch. The Lions are skipping through the division. The only way the Lions lose a division game this year is if they had the division and a playoff spot locked up the last week of the season, and we still might even beat the Vikings if we're sending out the B team.
Teddy Two Gloves.
Listen.
Kings of the North.
The Bears, this offseason, have been crowned contenders. Not necessarily for the Super Bowl, but even for the division this year. And for what reason? Justin Fields was crowned an MVP candidate. For what reason? Ryan Poles was championed as him, as Brad Holmes level finesser. For what fucking reason? Fuck the Bears! They haven't shown us anything. They've done nothing to deserve this. Detroit Lions have hype. There's some context behind it, Smitty. We won 82 games last season against playoff teams. Essentially, the last game of the year on national primetime television against the Green Bay Packers, reigning MVP Aaron Rodgers, was a playoff game in itself. There's some context to that hype. The Bears hype, there was no context. That's why I was going off the mouth all offseason, because there's no context to any of this nonsense. And guess what? They hit the field at home against a Jordan Love who I somewhat respected. I didn't say he was going to be bad. I know others felt differently, but he certainly was going to be a superstar by any means. He was held behind Aaron Rodgers because he wasn't to Aaron Rodgers' level to even push him out of the way. In fact, they gave Aaron Rodgers an extension while Jordan Love was there. But they went to Chicago with Jordan Love, and his first drive scored.
Yep.
Justin Fields, where's the MVP? Where's the MVP guy you guys talking about? What were the complaints? Oh, he didn't have any offensive line?
Yes.
They drafted an offensive lineman, right? First round pick? Okay. Complaints, didn't have any weapons.
No weapons.
Darnell
No
Mooney's right. And
receivers.
then they traded the first overall pick.
Yes.
For Darnell Mooney.
They did. No, DJ Moore.
I'm sorry, DJ Moore. I apologize. He was targeted, what, 3 times?
Yep.
3 times the entire game?
2 catches, 14 yards.
That was the excuse for the Chicago Bears fans. And then here you are, running the football, being just as predictable every single play.
Yeah.
Fuck the Bears!
That was your championship, Bears. The preseason was your championship. You saw these guys. Oh, DJ Moore looks like a weapon. He's got a touchdown every catch. Look at him. He can't be stopped. You're playing backups in preseason. He shouldn't be stopped. What happens when you go out there against the real defense, against the Jahmyr Alexander, against guys with a pulse? Oh, let me check. 2 catches, 14 yards. That's your champion. That's your weapon. That's the savior that's going to fix Justin Fields being a bum when he has to throw the ball. Guess what? Didn't fucking happen. Oh, but no. Justin Fields, he's elusive in the pocket. He makes things happen. 4 sacks, sacked 4 times. That offensive line, still trash. You bring that shit into Detroit, Justin Fields is going to need a stretcher to get him off the field. Ooh. This is tough. This is tough for Bears fans. I know you guys were all hyped. I know you guys were the preseason darlings. Justin Fields MVP year, it's going to happen. Guess what? No. You're going to be right back at the top of the draft board this year, Bears fans. You're going to be right there with another top 5 pick. And I hope you spend it on a guy who can actually block somebody, because that offensive line looks atrocious. Good luck to being a bottom feeder again, Bears fans. Good luck to winning maybe more than 5 games, Bears fans. I thought you were going to be better. I did. I like some of the pieces you made. Guess what? You guys still suck. Ryan Pace is a clown. Justin Fields can't throw the ball. It's over already, Bears fans, and it hasn't even started.
I think he attempted like somewhat of 5 passes up over 10 yards. I mean, like, listen, Ryan Proles, again, being crowned as like this brilliant GM, did he not make a move for a second? He gave up a second rounder for Chase Claypool.
He did.
Did you know him in yesterday's game at all?
No.
Who looked fucking terrible, by the way. No. Like, there was that, and then there's a guy who just suits up, puts a helmet on, then doesn't show up. He was terrible in blocking. He couldn't catch a cold. His route running was pathetic. Chase Claypool has just cemented himself as the worst starting wide receiver in football, in my opinion, after yesterday. The worst.
That's a statement. I'm like, okay, you guys accredit this guy with what? He also grabbed a $80 million linebacker, too, in Tremaine Edmonds. Got to be honest, Benny, I like Tremaine Edmonds. I know you wanted him in Detroit. Didn't notice him.
Didn't see him out there.
Didn't notice him yesterday.
Yeah.
You spent a lot of draft capital on him. And by the way, you had a guy that was, I think, is better, and Roquan Smith, and they didn't want to pay him, but essentially paid Tremaine Edmonds more.
Yeah.
More money than that. And then I'm not even done yet, too, because I've always clowned the Eberflus hiring. How do you have... Because I'll be real about Justin Fields, extremely talented, amazingly gifted. Even watching him evade sacks yesterday, I was like, damn, this guy is hard to sack. It's the situations he got up. It's very impressive. Mm-hmm. You hire a defensive coordinator as your head coach to help involve the first round investment you just made in Justin Fields. And then now, year 3 of this, by the way, less snaps than Jordan Love. Where's the development?
Don't see it.
Where is it?
Can't see it.
You hired a defensive coordinator to that's just stupid. It's clown behavior.
He looks pretty much the same.
The Bears hype was unnecessary. And I get it's week 1. I'm still feeling pretty damn confident about every piece of shit I had to talk about.
They look pretty much damn near the same as they did last year, which was the worst team in the NFL.
Literally.
And you look pretty much the same. Can't see too much more improvement. Like you said, I like Tremaine Edmonds. I wanted Tremaine Edmonds. What's Tremaine Edmonds' calling card at linebacker?
Coverage.
His coverage ability.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones was the leading receiver for the Packers. The running back was the leading receiver for the Packers. So it sounds like your linebackers were getting cooked in coverage. Come on, Bears fans. Come back down to earth and enjoy a top 3 draft pick again this year. Because that was embarrassing. The only team that should be more embarrassed than Bears fans are Giants fans.
Oh, yeah, that's facts. Steelers are up there, too. But I was going to say, too, like, one of my defenses for Jordan Love was, like, he's got Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, like a receiver. Christian Watson didn't even play yesterday.
Did not play.
Like, arguably the most explosive weapon. Probably Aaron Jones would be in that conversation, too. Didn't even play yesterday. Aaron Jones left the game early, too.
And he had 86 yards receiving.
Hey, fuck the Bears. I don't want to hear them mention as NFC North champions until they prove it or do something to give me some context behind it. Moving on. Because we're talking about the NFC North, by the way.
Yeah.
I hate the Bears like really aggressively, so that's why I went that way. But then you go to the embarrassment of the Minnesota Vikings.
Another embarrassing
The
performance.
overrated Minnesota Vikings. Everyone's telling me the Minnesota Vikings win the division. Minnesota Vikings would be the second best team in the division. For what reason, brother? For what? You watched them win
Somebody has to be.
13 games last year by 1 point?
And would you look
And
at that?
one
They just
score?
lost a 1-score game.
Yeah.
Would you look at that?
They made it sound like that was an impressive feat last year, that they were in that many one-score games. It's like, no, you were that close to losing how many? 11 games?
Mm-hmm.
If you would have had one more bad thing go your way, you would have lost all of those games. And a bad thing is, like you guys said earlier, is losing Zadarius Smith. How do you expect? What does that defense have? And Delvin Tomlinson.
They
And
lost.
your boy Adam Thielen.
Danielle Hunter looked pretty good. That's about it. Justin Jefferson had 138 receiving yards at halftime. And you guys still choked it away against Baker fucking Mayfield. Baker Mayfield went out there and made Minnesota his bitch. Baker Mayfield.
If you want to bitch, the pieces you made investments into, your offense.
Yeah.
Jordan Hassan had a touchdown.
Yeah, he did.
Fantasy-wise, I like Jordan Hassan. Obviously, just Hawkins and I have him, and Jay Jettas is who Jay Jettas is. But your offense performed, and you still lost.
I saw a delusional Minnesota fan with his takeaways from the game. One of them was Alexander Madison is better than Dalvin Cook.
That's okay.
Where? Alexander Madison looked terrible. Not explosive, not hitting holes, getting taken down after 2 yards every run. Like, come on, man. This is the least explosive starting running back in the NFL, period. Alexander Madison can't break off a 20-yard run if his life depended on it.
And then again, the casuals were the ones just crowning the Vikings champs back-to-back for whatever reason, I don't know. We'll call them casuals. The reason why I didn't call the people saying that about the Chicago Bears casuals because you're just a dumbass if you ever said the Chicago Bears won the division. I like Kyle Brandt on Good Morning Football. I don't know if I didn't watch it live when he picked the Bears to win the division. I don't know if it was a joking thing. Dumbass.
Yeah.
They've done nothing. There's no context behind this Bears team to crown them division champions. Or Justin Fields, the MVP candidate. Or Ryan Poles, a finesser. And that brings us to the Packers, which we have 1 minute on. And to be honest with you, I'm still assessing them a little bit. Because the Bears are the worst team in football last year.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they just beat on the worst team in football or if they're actually like respectable.
I think it's a little bit of both. I think the Packers are going to be better than we thought because their defense didn't look good, but it was going against Justin Fields and that terrible offense. So any defense would look good in that situation. And the same with the offense. Like Jordan Love looked good, but he was going against the Bears. So I could look good going against the Bears. I could throw for where was it? 245 yards, 3 touchdowns against the Bears.
Ooh, disrespect.
Because there were some wide open receivers. There were some blatant breakdowns in the secondary. I think the Packers are going to be better than I thought. Because Quay Walker looked good. He had the pick 6. Oh, look at that. Justin Fields threw another pick 6. What else is new?
Looked like Lucas Klotz on that run back, too.
Shut up, Lucas. He looked pretty. The defense is going to be legit. They're going to be better than they were last year. Obviously, like we said, Quay Walker, not Zadarius Smith, Ian Gary. He had a sack. He had a good game. What's his name? Rasul Douglas on one side, and you got Jair Alexander on the other side, obviously. So I expect them to be better, but it's still not going to be a test for the Lions.
Some handsome analysts at Woodward Sports told you guys Vikings might be a little bit overrated. The Bears didn't prove you shit. And the Packers are the only ones standing on anything respectable. And that's what we saw. Hey, granted week 1.
Granted week 1, and it was against the Bears. So you got to take it with a grain of salt. Like,
I was saying, I told you so.
Like, King would look good against the Bears. Cass Tech would look good against the Bears. Like, Catholic Central would look good against the Bears.
Oh, that's disrespectful.
It's the Bears.
Tell them where you can get some good defense.
You can get good defense from Guardian Alarm, because Guardian Alarm will offer you customized solutions from real experts. Their professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. They also have 24/7 professional monitoring. You can call them anytime, day or night, and no Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. And of course, they have technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. So call them at 1-800-STAY-OUT. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT, and let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
You're a good coach, Tim. Oh, great shot.
Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports, and some, well, not so much.
Good. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, shit. Go in.
Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com.
Experience the true meaning of exceptional cannabis products with Dispo Dispensary. With over 12 locations, including the new location that's now open, Whitmore Lake, that will be at this Friday. Pull up September 15th at 50 North Territorial Road. They're the local cannabis plug. They have a Dispo near you, wherever you are in this great state of Michigan. And if you can't make it to them, they can make it to you with Dispo Dispensary, Dispo Dash, visit disposhops.com, DISPO shops.com, your local cannabis plug.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on woodwardsports.com. Make sure you like and share the stream. If you're listening on audio platform, leave a 5-star review for Eazy, for Chris, for Lucas. I am Spencer. We are the Woodward Heavyweights, and I did say Ian Gary when I was talking about Rashawn Gary. Obviously, I meant Rashawn Gary, but 2 guys, scary and nasty when they get their hands on you, so it fits. But we just got done breaking down the NFC North and what the situation's looking like. Let's go back to the Lions for a little bit and talk about Jahmyr Gibbs. Because I said it on Friday after the show, even though half of you probably couldn't hear me because I was talking like this. But Jahmyr Gibbs looked good, man. When he was given the ball, when he was given opportunities, he looked good. He was making people touch earth. He was putting his shoulder through guys. He looked elusive. He looked powerful. And he looked explosive. Were you concerned at all with the lack of attempts or the lack of touches that Jahmyr Gibbs got in that win against the Chiefs?
No. I'm not. And I saw it all over national media. I saw the meet, and I get some of it maybe from like fantasy managers and a little bit of the fantasy hype starting to Jahmyr Gibbs out into this season. I don't think people should be worried. I think he was limited in touches because that was the game plan. I think he was limited in touches because this is an opening game against the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead, and he is a rookie, like it or not. He is a rookie. And another factor, too, this is a complicated, complex offense. It just is. I think when it comes to the usage, for you to question it, I guess nationally, sure. Go ahead. You don't know any better. But as a Detroit Lions fan, when have you ever seen this organization prime in a better position? When have you seen this organization with a coach who's kind of brought you this way? Granted, we have to see the rest of the season, but step by step into where you're actually considered like a contender for not just like the division, but like the NFC in itself. Mm-hmm. You're expected to be in the playoffs. You're expected to win a playoff game. And these are like solidified expectations. You just beat the Kansas City Chiefs. We've never been in that position. Not in my lifetime, at least. Yeah. Not when I'm knowledgeable enough to speak on football. I trust this coaching staff vehemently. And yeah, I may question third down calls when it's passing rather than running David Montgomery up the middle. But everything outside of that, if Jahmyr Gibbs is limited by a Dan Campbell that I respect, by a genius and Ben Johnson that I respect, then I think that's the right decision. I think that the right call is being made. And so on and so forth when it comes to Jack Campbell as well. I have faith in this coaching staff. They know what the hell they're doing. And we're just blessed because, listen, before Jahmyr Gibbs, before Jack Campbell, we had that 8-2 stretch against playoff teams. Against teams that won games in the playoffs. Yeah. Against arguably playoff game against the Green Bay Packers. We have a good enough team to where we could kind of string those guys along. And you're blessed to have that. And I respect the coaching staff for doing so.
Yeah, I'm not concerned with the amount of attempts he got because, like you said, it is against Kansas City with no Chris Jones. So obviously David Montgomery was going to get more of the carries. You're looking at his first game in the NFL on the road against one of the best teams in the NFL in a hostile environment. So maybe you don't want to put him up too many times. And they got the win, so it's nothing to be concerned about. But I want to see him get more touches against Seattle. I want to see him touch the ball at least 20 times. The guy's electric when he has the ball in his hands, and he looks like the real deal. He looks like he's going to make people miss. He does make people miss. He puts his shoulder down. He is explosive. I want him to touch the ball at least 20 times against Seattle, and I don't think that's asking for much. Based on what our offense looked like, based on what he looked like when he touched the ball, and based on the weapons that Jared Goff has around him, the guy is a monster. And I expect him to go off against Seattle's defense. I expect him to be all around the place. They're going to blitz a lot, again, obviously, because they're going to need to, because they're not going to get any pressure on Jared Goff if they don't blitz. So that's a safety valve right there. You throw it to him in the slot and let him eat. I'm excited to see what Jahmyr Gibbs does this season. And I expect the touches to be, ramped up as the season goes on. Obviously, it's going to happen. He's a rookie. So I wasn't concerned with the amount of usage because it resulted in a win. And like you said, it was probably the game plan with no Chris Jones, knowing that they could eat in the middle of that defense. But I want to see him touch the ball more.
And a lot of times, too, 7 carries for like 42 yards or something like that. I think average like 6 yards a carry or something like that. Like a lot of those runs, though, if you look back at them, they did kind of end towards the sideline. I think in a game we're trying to like pound the rock and wear out the clock and time of possession is when you want to run a David Montgomery because he's landing inside the hash marks when he's running the football. Versus when you're busting outside for Jahmyr Gibbs, who may or may not run out of bounds to stop the clock in those situations. But Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get his touches. I think Zaqua in the Woodward Sports Chat made a perfect example. Bijan had, 7 attempts at running back?
Tyler Algier on my bench.
Tyler Algier on the bench. No one saw that coming, though.
Yeah, no.
At least I didn't. And by the way, I know Jahmyr's things, catching the football, weapon. Bijan's first touchdown. That's sexy, bro.
That was pretty nasty.
It was like this. It was like levels. It was almost like disrespectful.
Like he's better than everybody out there.
It was just so effortless. I definitely want to see him with the ball in his hands too. But Dan Campbell spoke about it today, and was like, they like Bijan too. But Jahmyr kind of fit what they wanted to do more. And I think we're going to see that as the season progresses. And to see him in ways, because we were promised to see him in ways we didn't expect. I'm talking about Jahmyr Gibbs and Ben Johnson at the podium last week. And we saw him in ways we expected. So
speaking of levels, sorry to change the topic, but I'm just looking at Tyreek Hill highlights on the screen.
Get over your fantasy team.
Guy looked like the best receiver in football.
I've made the claim. I've been laughed at for it. I always love Tyreek Hill.
He's a monster. He's a monster.
He is. That speed is virtually unguardable.
But what else would you like to see out of the Lions? Maybe if they change some things else, change some other things up. What would you like to see be done differently?
To be honest with you, I don't know that there's so much more. I think they could beat Seattle with the similar game plan that went against Kansas City. Like if there's some freaky nasty stuff you're gonna pull with Jahmyr Gibbs, like save it for when we need it. If you want to bump him out to the slot and in 12 personnel or something like that, like save it for when we need it. I don't know that we need to see that right now. Same way, I think I was talking to Lucas. Actually, I was talking to you. We had Amon-Ra St. Brown at the fullback position.
Yeah.
Like, there's some freak nasty shit.
Some weird shit going on.
Coming out, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Some weird shit going on with Ben Johnson.
Don't put it on tape now. Save it for when you need it. And you could arguably, probably KC, you probably say, okay, we could have used it then, but they won, didn't they?
They won. And like we were talking about it before week 1, saying, is this the toughest matchup on the Lions schedule with Kansas City? It's looking like Dallas is going to be the toughest matchup on the Lions schedule.
Yeah.
I give him an L on that because I knew Dallas was going to be good, but that defense looked
nasty. Micah Parsons, bro. If I only 10 carries by Bijan, by the way, but Micah Parsons.
That secondary too. Gilly and Diggs, both forced a turnover.
Yeah.
They got Curse running around back there too. Like Dallas is going to be good this year.
The Lions should have never
let. They got Dak.
The Lions should never let J-Ron Curse go.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they did
We
that.
got Brian Branch now, so.
No, I know, but at that time,
yeah,
him or Will Harris.
Yeah. That's fair.
That is kind of crazy. How about you tell us about that thing you got to tell us about?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know which one it is.
Woodward and Maine, Lions Beat Reporters Show. Make sure you guys come check it out if you want the best information in the inside scoop on the Lions. Gabrielle D. Phillips, Terry Foster, and our guy Matt Broder are going to be breaking it down Tuesdays from 7 to 8 a.m. and Sundays from 8 to 9 a.m. So make sure you guys check out the Lions Insider Show, Woodward and Main Street, live on Woodward Sports.
Yeah, but in terms of Jahmyr Gibbs, I'm not concerned. I have total faith in his coaching staff, and maybe somewhat of why he was limited because they don't want to show you the freaky stuff yet. They don't want you to think they're pounding the rock, which they are. Obviously, you invested in your tight end, you invested in the running back position twice now.
Dude, I can't wait to see the level of push the Lions' offensive line is going to get against Seattle.
Yeah,
they're going to be 5 yards down the field every single play.
They better.
David Montgomery won't get touched for 7 yards.
They did get a defense. I mean, his debut wasn't that special at all, I should say. But who is the defensive tackle they got from Denver? I can't remember his name.
Poona Ford? No, they re-signed Poona Ford.
I'll think of it. But that's
talking about the vet.
Yeah,
the one that was after the game last year when they played the Broncos.
Starts with D. Oh well. I'll think of it. I'll find it during break. That's the only guy that makes me a little bit nervous, and to an extent, Boye Mafe, if he's healthy, he went to the medical tent in that game, but he was only respectable. I mean,
Bobby Wagner,
Draymond Jones, by the way, Bobby Wagner. There are some respectable. Draymond Jones was the defensive tackle.
I ain't scared of any of those motherfuckers when you're looking at Penei Sewell, Frank Ragnow, Jonah Jackson, Taylor Decker.
You ain't lying.
Hapalua Vaitai. I ain't scared of nobody.
I'm definitely not scared of nobody. I'm just saying there's some respectable names. Some respectable guys. Yeah. I know what I'm saying.
All I'm saying is Seattle's offensive line is going to be 5 yards off the line of scrimmage.
We definitely should be cooking the offensive line. And to be honest with you, it sucks that there's a toe injury. Maybe we should throw an asterisk in the game.
No.
But I am.
They just lost to the Rams.
I know that we didn't care if Chris Jones was healthy or not because you just want the dub. But I do want to see a respectable rematch of Aiden Hutchinson versus Charles Cross because last year Charles Cross kind of got the better of him. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. But this is a new improved.
Doesn't matter.
Aiden Hutchinson.
I don't care who's playing. I don't care where. I just want the Lions to win. Tell us about Mark White.
I'll tell you about Mark White as soon as I find this paper here that tells me about Mark White. Mark White is the best place to go if you're looking to sell or buy a home. They have the minute-by-minute listing agreement in which they'll allow you to cancel that for any reason at no cost. Only Mark White provides that. It's called the Mark White Associates Minute-by-Minute Listing Agreement. Try Mark White's minute-by-minute listing agreement today. 248-290-8242 or visit markwhitesells.com. That's 248-290-8242 or visit markwhitesells.com.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel. Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
At the Academy of Warren, they have a new Sports Dome field house that has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field, and a football field that can be used out for 7-on-7. They also have a K-8 feature that has AM/PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, a learning street, a futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic grades, and K through 8 athletics. Make sure you go visit the academyofwarren.com or go to academyofwarren.net.
I'll be enrolling Lucas as soon as we get done with this show.
Dude, the academic word got me. I realized it after I said it. I was like, oh, this word's tripping me up.
I'm not gonna lie, if it reads like list, it gets tough because like there's no like flow to it. Like sometimes you read something.
And what the fuck is a latchkey, bro?
Oh, come on,
You don't know what
disrespect
latchkey
it.
is?
Yeah, you know what latchkey is?
No.
Oh man, somebody lived in a good household with both
Yeah,
parents.
that's what I'm saying.
Fuck.
Yeah.
What is it? Like, I've never heard of that
It's
word
like if
before.
your parents aren't at home.
Maybe it's a Michigan thing.
So like a day school or like
It's
a
like
a prep?
It's where you go
It's like
after
an
school.
After school.
Yeah, we just
chill
it'd be
for
like
a
called like
couple
an after school program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, latchkey.
Latchkey.
You've never heard of latchkey before?
No, I've never even heard that word before the script.
Were you actually? I'm curious if it's an actual word or if it's like an acronym.
I think it's a word.
Latchkey,
That would be a long acronym.
right?
So I think it's
Yeah,
gotta
that
be
would be a
word.
really long.
But it's weird to have a word just for that. You know, latchkey. We made
Late
it up.
after, like, bro, like,
Yeah.
what do you
Learning
go with
after
that?
Yeah, there you go. I mean, something like that, maybe.
Something.
Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live on Sports.com. I'm waiting to join my guys, Spin More Rex, Young Chris, Lucas on the 1s and 2s. It's been nice to have a Lions love fest for like 3 consecutive shows because it just feels that way. Although I mean, I think you should be wary of the Seattle Seahawks because Dan Campbell said they whooped you 2 times in a row. But speaking of Dan Campbell, what up, Chris?
I just want to say something real quick. Like, I watched every game, and I don't know if I'm going too far with this, but, like, we talked about last segment about the division, or 2 segments ago about the NFC North.
Yeah.
But, like, of the glimpses of every game I caught, the Lions not only looked like the best team in the NFC North, they looked like one of the best teams in the league. Unfortunately, though, for the Lions, it also looked like the 3 other best teams were also in the league.
Yeah.
With the Cowboys, the Niners, and the Eagles. But at the end of the day, the Lions, like, they looked like they belonged against almost anybody. I mean, put them in any of those games. Most of those games, they're coming out looking like a winner or competitive.
Respectable.
I'm just glad we don't play Dallas until like the last couple games of the year.
Yeah, I'll
Bro,
keep
imagine if we gotta play Dallas first round of the playoffs.
I mean, out of week 1,
Let's relax.
I definitely say, and when they're expected to be one of the better teams in the NFC.
Like, there's no doubt that Dallas's defense is good. Like,
I'm with you,
they
brother.
proved that. Darius Slayton, a rookie Jalen Hyatt who didn't do anything. Daniel Jones
40
who
to nothing, bro.
Listen, and how
40
many
to
how
nothing.
many of that was created off of turnovers?
Exactly.
So, and what do the Lions do better than anybody else in the league?
Take care of the ball.
They take care of the ball. And what did Dak
They
do,
didn't do it against
to
the
scare?
Dallas last year.
Okay, there was Amon-Ra St. Brown who was hurt after like the first drive because he had a concussion. So they basically had the Giants receiving core. And you have the Lions running back this year that will be able to control the ball better. I still like the Lions offensive line better than Cowboys offensive line. The Cowboys are going to be legit. But for people to come out of this game acting like this is like the new like age of defense, it's like Dallas's defense is really good. But the Giants' offense is also really fucking bad, specifically their offensive line and receiving core. And what are the Cowboys' whole strength of their whole team? Defensive line and secondary. Like, yeah, they just ate. It's like it was watching the Lions versus the Bears, basically.
Oh, man. I love the Bears suck. I love the Vikings, overrated Vikings lost to the Tampa Bay Bucks.
So what's this Colin Cowherd shit?
I saw this, and this kind of happened last week, but obviously we had the game coming up to talk about. But I remember this specifically because I'm up and ups. Yeah. Here's a tweet from Colin Cowherd.
This is disgusting.
Dan Campbell was my guy. -- day one. Now, I don't know.
Didn't he make fun of him for the kneecaps thing?
Yeah, he led the narrative.
Everything. Yeah, he and Joy Taylor back when she was on the show held the fucking flag and ran it around. They called him a caveman, a knuckle dragger. I mean,
I
rah-rah
hate
guys.
Colin
He was a big
Taylor's
on.
so hot.
Joe Taylor's she's amazingly beautiful. I mean, it's I can't stop looking at her sometimes, honestly. But
she could host my show.
They led the campaign on the disrespect of Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is like him trying to be funny or something like that, but it was like he got called out for sure. I know, especially because it's like when I was like coming up in Woodward Sports, and I made like a little YouTube short about like fuck Colin Cowherd, and whatever the fuck he's got to say.
Because I feel like he's being facetious. Yeah. Like he's just like joking about it.
Yeah.
Because like now it's like this year it's going to be undeniable that Dan Campbell is a good coach.
Yeah.
And so
I hate Colin Cowherd.
Shit like that. There's no way he's like actually trying to do it. You know what I mean?
Probably trying to play.
He's just being an ass.
He's made so many like whiffs over time, like going on record and just making these bold takes. That's probably his only way out of it at this point.
Yeah.
And I can't stand him. He's not a sports knowledge guy whatsoever. He's I told Eazy this. He's known for having a great show, not great sports takes. He's a great entertainer.
Yeah.
But he always has like James Jones, fucking phenomenal football mind to make his show look great. Like if you're going to Colin Cowherd for sports takes, seek help immediately.
Yeah, that's fair.
Is master volume up? They're saying that Chet Lucas is way louder than us. I don't know.
Yeah, no, master volume's been up.
Yeah, Lucas has control over it, so obviously he's gonna turn his volume up.
True.
I don't know.
I'll turn it down a little bit. See. Testing.
Yeah, it says Jesus Christ, Lucas is so loud. He gets animated though too. He's like right there in front of the mic. Maybe
that's true.
I don't know. I guess the Cowboys standpoint though, I mean, the Lions were hanging in there with them up until Jamal Williams and Jared Goff turnovers.
Speaking of Jamal Williams, bro looked like big ass this week.
Average 2 yards per carry. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, don't disrespect 2.5. Don't disrespect
2.5 yards per carry. Flint Sam, I love you. You're my guy. The disrespect you showed David Montgomery amongst the signing and then say, don't disrespect Jamal Williams. He had no.
Jamal Williams was birthed by the Lions offense.
God, that's what I'm saying. Like, and I love Flint. Numbers in football lie. Context is more important than anything.
Yeah.
The offensive line that the Detroit Lions have is top 3 in the league.
Yes.
Jamal Williams looks. I'm not even gonna say immaculate. Jamal Williams looks good. He's not great. He just looks good with the Detroit Lions offensive line. Behind a non-Detroit Lions offensive line, back up in Green Bay, and average 2.5 yards per carry against the fucking Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
At home.
Didn't look good.
And how about DeAndre Swift too?
Did he even play?
He did.
I didn't even see him in the game. I told you Kenneth Gainwell laughed at.
Yeah. I was hearing Swift. He had 1 carry for 3 yards, and he had 1 pass attempt that he dropped. And he would have been gone that pass attempt too. I was hurt. I started him in fantasy.
Yikes. Yeah.
Hurt.
A lot of people probably did.
A lot of people hurt in fantasy. T. Higgins, Drake London.
T. Higgins and Drake London.
Zero
I had
bodies.
them both. I had them both in the league I don't care about. I got so
Drake
screwed.
London got 0-2.
Yeah.
0. 2 targets.
Yeah.
No catches.
Desmond Ridder had like 60 yards.
Yeah, he was 13 of 15 or something like that, and Bijan had the most catches.
Yeah. Get off my dick with Atlanta's winning that division too.
Yeah, no.
You're not going to carry on throughout the season like that.
It's going to be the Saints.
Yeah, the Saints look kind of rough too. Though.
Yeah, but defense looked good, but
I guess what is the new outlook on the NFC South now?
Dude, they're all shit.
I'm kind of
It's
confident.
by far
in
the
Atlanta.
worst division in football. But
You're kind of confident in Atlanta?
Yeah, I mean, look, if they got it done, that way with no Drake London, like you got to imagine that the quarterback play is going to get better. If it doesn't, then yeah, I guess. But like Bijan looked like an absolute monster right away. So I'm a little more confident. I'm still picking the Saints, but I don't know. I didn't see anything to make me move off the Atlanta hype.
Lucas, you made a face. You made a face when I said fuck Atlanta.
I just think it'd be hard to write off Atlanta how they looked against a good defense in Carolina and they ran all over them, and then they didn't even get Drake London involved or Kyle Pitts. So I don't even think they're at their ceiling. I think Atlanta could very well win this division without a doubt.
Anybody can win the division.
That's what I'm saying.
Fucking sucks.
That's what I'm saying. Like to write off saying Atlanta's not going to win the division playing like that. Like they're not going to be playing like that all year. I mean, they can't be chucking the ball with Desmond Ridder, but they can be throwing
Desmond Ridder
30
looks
times.
Terrible.
I mean, yeah, I'm not saying
And
that,
he looks
but
like
he's
the kid from Recess that
he does look. He's not. He's an odd-looking human.
The snitch from Recess.
Holy shit, he does look like that guy.
Yeah.
No way, I didn't put those two and two together. But I think you're right. They can win the division. But I'm saying I don't know. People tried. I almost gave them the Bears narrative, where it's like, oh, look out for the Falcons this year. Look out for no.
No, people were saying look out for the Falcons this year because they're in the worst division in football. That's why they're saying look out for them. Not because they're some loaded roster. It's just anybody can win that division because they're.
I mean, to be honest, they are kind of loaded outside of maybe a little bit of defense. But yeah, they need. Yeah,
Jesse Bates looked good.
Come on now. I don't think of Arthur Smith as like that level of coach either. Like when you have Derrick Henry at the time a good offensive line, it's easy to look
in
like
the AFC South during that time. The Jaguars, the Texans never had a defense.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Ryan Tannehill looked terrible.
Are you surprised?
No.
Are you
Ryan Tannehill did not look good at all.
Like we have a stacked box. Oh, did you? Spears got more carries.
Tajay, yeah, outsnapped Derrick Henry. They don't know how to play behind with the lead, and that's just going to the fact of showing you that Derrick Henry, it's not going to be. Yeah, it's coming.
He's about to hit that cliff for sure. You know who's not hitting the cliff is Jeff Ifrady. He is peaking right now, and you can catch him on the Lions pregame show before every Lions home game down at Eastern Market and during the away games right here in the studio. So make sure you guys check it out. Sundays, 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Weekly special guests led by the man, the myth, the legend, the esteemed, the best anchor in the history of Detroit sports, Jeff Ifrady.
Holy shit, the show's almost up already.
Show's almost over. Tell us about Glorious Cannabis, Chris.
Yeah, Glorious Cannabis. I'm always looking for this one. Here it is. Glorious Cannabis, just in time for football. They are dropping a new ice water bubble hash infused pre-rolled called Honolulu Blue. It smells so good, like the whiff of a first playoff win in 31 years. That might be coming very soon. It's a gassy, aggressive strain named in honor of Detroit football. If you haven't had one of these ice water pre-rolls, you are missing out. They are so smooth. Find them at Dispo Dispensary for 25% off, or find them online at gloriouscanna.com.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Ifrady, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Your childhood may be over, but Playtime is not. Outdoor Equipment Company is your source for power outdoor equipment, sales, service, and parts, carrying top brands such as Bad Boy, Ellis Tractor, Steel, and more. Servicing the Great Lakes regional locations of Metro Detroit and Greater Lansing. For more information, visit us at OutdoorEquipco.com. Outdoor Equipment Company, your power equipment playground.
Gassy and aggressive like Smitty.
Hell yeah, you're damn right, brother. What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. Make sure you like and share the stream. If you're listening on audio platforms, leave a 5-star review. For Eazy, Chris, and Lucas, I am Spencer Raxter. We are the Woodward Heavyweights. So you put this in here, Dan Campbell, Jedi Mind Tricks.
That was a sound thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Because he said he expects it to be louder.
Yeah.
Paul Thomas says, stay away from the Goff hate. You guys perceive it as golf. You guys perceive it as golf.
No, step up to the plate, Easy. I told you had to do that.
Ain't no stepping up to the plate.
What are you
These
gonna say?
are all statements. I have nothing to say. It's everything I've said.
Well, then I'll go back to the.
What do you mean?
You lay it out.
What is your hate on the game?
This is your gripe. Don't go with me. This is him. This is him.
I feel like Jared Goff, because this is what it came down to. I asked him, would you re-sign Jared Goff for $45 million? Because Neil was talking about earlier on BDE. And if not, what does he have to do to prove that he's worth $45 million?
I get the perfect answer, by the way.
He did. Easy gave a great answer. It kind of slid him out of having to directly answer, but it's true.
Because Neil asked, what did he ask?
He was like, he asked Lindsey, because Lindsey's kind of like a Goff hater. Lindsey's a 49ers fan. He kind of looks at him like Kirk Cousins. I wouldn't call him a hater, but he just looks at him as like a serviceable quarterback. That's what he says all the time. And I think if
he is a serviceable quarterback.
Well, no, but like he's saying that's all he is. Like he's not like he's like a Kirk Cousins, Dak Prescott. Like just plug him. He's not gonna do too much for you.
I don't hate it.
If the way, because did you TD today?
No.
Okay, I think Neil said, what does it take for you to love Goff?
Yeah, what does Goff have to do for you to be completely bought in on him?
I said when the Lions buy in, when the Lions lock him up to that long-term deal, and we're just married to him, then I'll lock in with it. But until then, I think I'm viewing the situation just as the Lions are. Hey, we have to be financially responsible here. We have this kid in the wings. We have a great team, a great offensive mind. Because here's the other thing, too. Paul Thomas didn't want Jared Goff hate. This is not Jared Goff hate. This is realism. We saw Jared Goff 2021. Did he look like top 10 guy?
No.
A guy that you want to lock up to $50 million deal?
No.
And then Ben Johnson comes along. Here's the reality of it. Ben Johnson's going to get a head coaching position. He's not going to be here to tailor and make this offense for Jared Goff.
Mm-hmm.
And you can say what you want. Oh, we have Taylor Strand, whatever. Guess what? The Falcons thought they had that all figured out too when Kyle Shanahan dipped out and went to the 49ers. And then that shit fell apart too. You can't lock yourself into a guy that's dependent upon his offensive coordinator at like a top 10, top 5 contract money when you know that offensive coordinator is leaving to become a head coach at some point.
And
that's all.
I will ask this. Chat, relax right now. I already know you guys are going to freak out about this. Would Jared Goff have been able to do what Matt Stafford did for the Rams last week with that
on Sunday?
With that crew on Sunday?
No.
That Stafford went out there with.
Stafford looked phenomenal. And I know you're a Stafford hater, but you have to admit he looked damn
He
good.
looked damn good. I'll give him that much.
But then again, like over 330 yards.
Does Jared Goff walk out of there with a clean jersey?
No.
Like, are we no, I'm saying, like, in this hypothetical, then I think they might have. The way that defense looked, I don't care
Stafford
who was on
mobile,
the
too.
Stafford looked pretty good.
Yeah, he was running. He was
making some great throws.
But yeah, and I'm not discrediting
name,
with Stafford.
Name me 2 of his wide receivers not named Van Jefferson.
Tutu Atwell and the other guy, fucking Precious or Puka Nacua.
Yeah.
But my point is like, okay, maybe they wouldn't have won by 17 points. What was it, 30-13? But I think Jared Goff, if Seattle played the exact same way, Jared Goff would have won that game yesterday. I think a lot of.
I don't know.
But McVay just put on a master class.
It was a great. That
was a quarterback sitting in a clean pocket. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
he was trotting around there too. I mean,
he was making plays.
You get what I'm saying? Like, he didn't have any pressure on him. Goff, when he doesn't have any pressure on him, he's usually pretty successful when it comes to win-loss ratio.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I'll lock in when the Lions lock in. And I'll put it to you that way.
Hookah to poo poo.
When Brad Holmes locks in, I'll lock in. But what I can see, and what I wouldn't be ashamed of, if they end up doing, shut the fuck up. They give him like a Daniel Jones deal, a Geno Smith deal.
Like 2-year extension?
Yeah, I could totally see that being the situation, especially when you're like, you got my man's in and Hooker in the wing, but you also got to wait for him to cook up a little bit.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying? But he might cook up quick. He's older than most. And I'll say this too. You know, they locked in Daniel Jones, they locked in Geno Smith. How those guys look yesterday?
Not great. Neither of them. They actually both look terrible.
Did you catch the soundbite of Geno Smith with Aaron Donald?
Yeah, he said, "Oh my God!"
Yeah, he said, "Oh my God!"
Even Joe Burrow, man.
Tua Tagovailoa.
Joe Burrow just got signed. Justin Herbert's the only one that got signed and balled out.
Yeah, you're right. Joe Burrow, I'll give the excuse of like water and him missing a lot of training camp.
Not when Joe Burrow balled out in the snow in Buffalo.
Yeah. Maybe it was him missing camp. I mean, you got to give credit to Cleveland's defense too.
He just played bad.
Yeah.
But that'll do it for us today. We appreciate you all tapping into the Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. Make sure you like and share the stream. For Eazy, for Lucas, for Chris, I am Spencer. We are the Woodward Heavyweights. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.